I remember the night of June 25th, 2006. I remember my sister dropping me off at my mother's house after a long day of celebration from our graduation parties. I remember hearing my sister's frantic voice on the other end of my mother's phone. She wouldn't say what happened. My mother and I, we were in a panic, searching for our shoes, the car keys. It was wishful thinking to conceive that my sister had come home to find her cat dead. We knew, but we hoped for different. We couldn't get to her house quick enough. Red lights, slow drivers. Our worst fear had come true. Pulling into the driveway stood our worst fear, the Marine Corps SUV. I remember rushing into our house, moving quickly up the stairs. There she sat on her couch with Nick's father, both red-eyed and silent, with two dressed officers standing in the middle of the dimly lit room. I remember rushing over to my sister, my knees buckling and dropping down to the unforgiving floors. I hugged her and just repeated how sorry I was. There was an explosion in Fallujah. Nick's father choked. He was hit by a sniper while securing the area. My cries were no longer muffled, but my entire body ached as it consumed with the sadness. My sister sat as cold and as stiff as a stone and began to comfort me. I thought, how could she be so collected at this time? Her husband, the man we adopted into our family over 8 years ago, the man we have known since he was a little boy, has been killed. I remember those 9 long days, waiting for his funeral service. My family in disbelief, shock. How could this have happened? Within those 9 days, my family divided, never to be the same. I remember the day of the service. I didn't want to see him. I didn't want my last memory of my brother, my friend, to be him in that box. My sister gave me a few minutes alone with him, and it seemed like seconds. There he was, his lifeless body, wearing his uniform, in his polished coffin. This can't be him, I thought. I moved closer. I remember running my fingers over his shaved hair, telling him what an idiot he was. For the first time, I felt angry. What was the purpose of his death? I was not angry at the shooter. I'm sorry. I was angry because I did not understand why the hell we were over there to begin with. I remember leaving my family in Massachusetts to go back to my lonely life in Florida. The summer seemed to last for an eternity. My sadness, my anger escalated as I continued to hear the death toll rise and my family complain about each other. And for that, I was glad to be away. Over a year later, I managed to join the Broward Antiwar Coalition. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted my voice and my story to be heard. But I still question, how many more lives will need to be taken? How many more families will be shattered, left to suffer and to pick up the pieces? I remember, and I will not forget.